Just do not focus on my forehead much, guys. I pop up some acne. Here. See, can you see it? Yeah. I'm young. So let's do it. Where is my flat maker? There. Wait, I take my flat maker because the flies are, they just want to leave. They want to leave the life by being flat. So here we are. I can, oh mani padme hum. So we collect them here and then I threw them away, guys, because I don't want to leave you, of course. You. Flat maker is good. Hey, there is all, we have even ants here. Would you believe we have ants in the house? That's a farm life, guys. So, thank you. We do the AI thing until we are bored, okay? That's why it's now every day, because we love it. And I have a cool question, guys. I thought about it. What happens if we contact aliens? Let's go. What happens if we contact aliens? Contacting aliens, also called first contact, is one of the most profound and unpredictable events that humanity could face. I don't know, is it? What happens depends on the contact occurs, who the aliens are and how we and they respond. Here are the major possibilities and scenarios based on scientific, philosophical and speculative perspective. So, passive contact, we receive a signal. This is the most likely scenario envisioned by Search SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. What happens? A radio telescope detects a signal that appears artificial and extraterrestrial in origin. Verification and confirmation would take days or weeks involving independent observatories. Global media attention and scientific debate would explode. Implication, culture and philosophical shock. Proof we are not alone. Religious, political and ideological reaction would vary dramatically. Potential global cooperation or division over interpreting or responding. And the second one is active contact, they arrive. Less likely but more dramatic. What happens? An alien spacecraft appears either in orbit or on Earth. Governments, militaries and scientists scramble to assess intentions. Panic, awe or denial could spread among the public. Implications could be peaceful, scientific, indifferent or hostile. We would be at a massive technological disadvantage. A risk of miscommunication or conflict due to culture or biological differences. Then there's a third option. We contact them. We send a signal. This is a controversial. Messaging extraterrestrial intelligence, METI, has been, what METI is, we can read it again, METI. Where is METI? This is SETI. Well, I don't know what is METI. I say METI. I don't know the shortcut. Whatever. Has been messaging extraterrestrial intelligence has been debated for ethical reasons. What happens? We send a message via radio telescope toward a known star system. It could take decades or centuries to receive a reply. Critics argue it might expose our location to potential threats. Implication could initiate a long-term dialogue or invite a danger. Some worry about risks similar to how isolated human tribes fared when contacted by colonial powers. 4. Contact through probes or AI. Aliens may send autonomous probes, or we may find signs of ancient aliens artifacts on the moon, Mars, or asteroids. What happened? Discovery of a probe or artifact raises a question. Are they still out there? Are they watching? Implication could suggest a long dead or far away civilization. Somebody just came home. Less threatening than direct arrival, but still mind-blowing. So, psychological and cultural impact, human unity. Some believe contact could unite humanity with a shared purpose. Existential anxiety. Others fear it would destabilize society and belief systems. Scientific revolution. Alien knowledge could accelerate our development or destroy it. Potential risks, as imagined by scientists like Stephen Hawking, malicious intent, like how European colonists treated less advanced civilization. Unintentional harm, alien microbes, incompatible technology, or misunderstandings. Societal collapse, information overload or collapse of meaning. Best case versus worst case. So there is like friendly, cooperative, new knowledge, peace, leap in science and philosophy, or indifferent, they ignore us. We continue wandering. Hostile, conflict, extinction, or subjugation. If you're interested, I'm going to go deeper how scientists would verify a signal. No, I already found it boring. I don't want you to go deeper, it's boring, but thanks anyway. But I want to ask you one more question. You know, there is like, I don't know, the last a year, 2 years, maybe 3, I don't know. What do you think, guys? It's like, so everybody just want to go Mars. Why? You know, there is all these like, is it disinformation, or is it like videos all over the internet where a conspiracy, like there was a like aliens had like their base there, like on moon or Mars, or like, is there something now currently? Tell us. But tell us the truth, of course. It's a really good question. Why is there this sudden obsession with Mars? Is it just about exploration? Let's break it down. Survival instinct, backup plan. Elon Musk and others say it plainly. If something wipes out life on Earth, having a second planet could save humanity. Well, I think could save the richest, not us. That's it. So why should I care? Fine, okay. Life insurance for the species. So Mars becomes the most realistic plan B. Technology caught up. In the last 5 to 10 years, reusable rockets, SpaceX, Falcon 9, Starship, better robotics, NASA's Artemis program. Mars is now less science fiction and more a real engineering challenge. Cold War 2.0 vibes. The US, China, and the others are racing again, not with nukes, but with space tech. Controlling Mars or the moon could mean control over the resources, territory, and future power. Psychology and legacy. Rich tech billionaires want to leave a mark. Colonizing Mars sounds cooler than inventing another app. Mars is the ultimate status symbol of a human progress or ego. What about the conspiracies, alien bases, etc.? You probably see videos or stories like NASA covers up alien structure on the moon. There's a base on Mars already. We've already been there in secret. Here is what to know. Is there evidence? Nothing verifiable. A lot of it is blurry images, misinterpreted photos, or claims for questionable sources. Some are intentional fake clickbait. Some are people genuinely seeing patterns, paranoia, and some are just entertainment. That said, why do these stories stick? People don't trust governments or space agencies to tell the full truth. We've been told for decades we are close to disclosure, but it never fully happens. If we've been lied to about other things, people naturally wonder what else is hidden. Could something be there? Is it possible there are alien ruins or bases on the moon or Mars? Sure, possible doesn't mean likely. But there is no confirmed proof that anything artificial or alien exists on Mars or on the moon. Not yet, anyway. So, is it disinformation? Sometimes yes, sometimes it's just viral nonsense. But sometimes governments do play with public perception. For example, the US Air Force let UFO rumors spread in the 1950s to hide secret aircraft. NASA has accidentally released or redacted weird images without explanation, which fuels suspicion. So it's understandable that people are skeptical. TLDR. So what's really going on? Mars is hot right now because it's technologically possible, politically strategic, and emotionally appealing. Conspiracy theories grow in absence of full transparency and trust. No proof of alien bases on the moon or Mars has ever been confirmed, but interest in space makes people ask bigger questions, and that's not a bad thing. So guys, we don't ask bad questions, you see. If you want, I can show you some actual weird Mars images that got people talking and explain what's really in them just for fun. No, thanks. I was just thinking about different question. You know, there is like the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. He is talking about like having, what do you call it? Like a golden dome, or wait, another thing he said, like Space Force or Space Army. Like what? What is that about? Like why? What's going on? Like I do remember everybody, like all the big like players in the world had like a huge armies, and you know they had like whether jet fighters, like yeah the best one, and new guns and the most destructible nuclear weapons and all this nonsense. But now they have a space force, like in universe, like they need are like an army. Like what for? Like what is it for? Like what is the deal? Who is fighting them? Like who is like threatening them there? You're asking exactly the right questions. The AI is just flattering me. Yes, you remember incorrectly. Trump launched the Space Force in 2019 as a sixth branch of the US military. And yes, it sounded like a science fiction at first. Guardians even mention of golden domes and strange imaginary speeches. What is the Space Force really? The US Space Force, USSF, is not about fighting aliens, it's about controlling and protecting the military operation in space, especially Earth's orbit. It's a real purposes. Protect satellites, military communication, GPS and surveillance, prevent space attacks like China or Russia blowing up our satellites. Oh, I thought they are friends. Track space debris and threats, develop weapons or jamming tech that work in space. It's less about stormtroopers like laser guns and more about cyber warfare, orbital defense, and controlling high ground technology. Why now? Why space? Because modern wars already depend on space, whether people realize it or not. GPS, military. Drones and missiles need satellites. Internet communication, targeting, all rely on space infrastructure. If a country can disable another satellite, it can blind them in a war. That's true, actually. Russia and China have already tested anti-satellite weapons. China blew up one of its own satellites in 2007 just to prove it could. That freaked the US out. So now it's a new kind of arms race, not with tanks, but with orbital control. So who are they fighting? There is no space war happening yet, but they are potential threats. Rival satellite spying or jamming US system, assault weapons that can knock out GPS, internet or missile tracking. Cyber attacks on space systems, and yes, it in the background. Just in case, alien scenarios are always somewhere in the military's files. Not a joke. They call them contingency planning. Wow. Wow. What a worry, huh? What is this? And I live on a farm, and my girlfriend has to milk a goat twice a day. And I didn't know about this. But why all the weird Trump talk, golden domes? Trump is known for big symbolic language. So dome, it's a protect the nation, metaphor for defense, dramatic branding. Space Force sounds cooler than Orbital Command Division. Tapping into America's science fiction love plus patriotic energy. So when he says things like, we will have a space force with a beautiful equipment and dome of a protection, he was using poetic, sometimes confusing language to sell a real shift, militarizing space. But is space being weaponized? Yes, quietly. This was already happening. Laser and EMP research that could disable the satellites. Space thugs that can drag satellites out of orbit. China tested this. Spy satellites that can get dangerously close to others. US, Russia, China, all of them. Hypersonic weapons that use near space flight paths. So Space Force isn't a joke, it's a part of a new military frontier, just like air power was in WWE or nuclear arms in the Cold War. So, should we be worried? That depends. If you worry about alien war, not really nothing solid there. If you worry about humans fighting in space, it's already a real possibility, not science fiction. If you worry about militarization of everything, including space, yeah, you are not alone. If you want, I can show you. No. Tell me something positive at the end. You know, I'm the whole conversation I'm reading in my YouTube video. I'm making a YouTube video when I'm reading it. I need to end with something positive because that doesn't sound good. Yeah, I turn it off, guys. Sorry. Absolutely. Here's the positive ending you can use for your video. So yeah, space is getting serious. There is a military stuff, politics, even more conspiracy buzz. But here is the good news. Despite all the noise, space still represents our highest hopes, not our darkest fears. Every rover we land on Mars, every telescope we launch, every international mission, it all means one thing: humanity is reaching for something bigger than itself. The same technology used for defense is also helping us explore, understand, and connect. GPS, climate satellites, communication systems, they all came from space science. Space might be a battlefield to some, but to most of us, it's still a frontier of wonder, discovery, and unity. And hey, if we ever do meet someone out there, maybe it won't be a war. Maybe it will be the beginning of something amazing. We are not just building weapons in space. We are building a future. Hey, I read you also the end. What AI telling me here, the last sentence, you know. You can end your video with that kind of tone, strong, hopeful, and honest. Want a shorter version too? Yeah, I want shorter, but short, really short. Got it. Here is it. Space isn't just where we fight. It's where we dream, and that's still worth everything. Or one more option. Even with all the noise, space is still about hope and not fear. Yeah. Good. Cool. Love it. You too. Let me know down below, comment section. If you have any question, you can write them down in the comment section. I will not ignore them, even if there is millions of comments. See ya. Love ya. One of a kind. Laugh a lot. Don't forget.